Hi guys, happy Black History Month. Today's the first day of Black History Month. Are you excited? Can you tell that I am? Last year we did a whole video about why Black History Month is important, but this year we're going to do something a little bit different. We have a special guest on our show, 10-year-old Samara, and she's going to talk to you about why Black History Month is important from her perspective. And I think it's very important because as we talk about how it's important for children to learn about Black history, because Black History is not just for people of color, but for all Americans, right? So she's going to tell you from a 10-year-old's perspective why Black History Month is important. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about what you can do, some ideas of what you can do to celebrate Black History Month, although Black History Month is all year round. All right, welcome to TXT Sales Off, Samara.
Hi, Miss Larita. Thanks for having me on your show. Why Black History Month is important to me because it represents all that we have accomplished and all our astounding Black leaders. We have Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, Mary Bozer, and Julia Dash. We have Marley Diaz, who founded 1,000 Black Girl Books because she didn't see any representation in any of her school. We have Thurgood Marshall, who was the first Black judge, and they have all gotten us where we are today. And because of that, they have inspired me to become a Supreme Court judge.
Thank you, Samara, for that wonderful explanation of why Black History Month is important to you. I'm glad that you were inspired to want to become a lawyer and eventually a Supreme Court justice. If you've been watching the news, President Biden plans on appointing the first African-American female Supreme Court justice. So she can be paving the way for you, and hopefully we can be talking to you many years later and say that it started with this conversation that you wanted to be the Supreme Court justice. So I'm glad that you came and shared that information with us. Now what I'm going to do is tell you guys a few things about how you can celebrate Black History Month. Some people want ideas. Some people who Black history is not their particular culture, but they were interested in supporting the month. I'm going to give you a few ideas of what you can do with you and your family, especially if you have young children. Okay, let's talk about it. I know due to COVID, we may be limited in where we can go at this point, but I want to give you some tips about where you can possibly look online if you can't actually get to physically. So the first thing will be visiting an African-American museum. I know they have the ultimate one in Washington, D.C. If you're not in the DMV area, I'm sure some areas have their own museums. But also you can go online and look at the things that they have online and kind of have a discussion with your children about some of the exhibits they have at these museums, and then almost kind of plan it out. Say, although we can't visit this right now, maybe when the pandemic is over, we can go and visit. Because it doesn't have to be limited just to February for Black history to celebrate or honor Black History Month. We can celebrate it all year long. So kind of having them anticipate, oh, that's cool, that's an interesting story, and then later planning a trip to the museum to kind of see it in person. I think that could be a good hands-on. Sometimes kids remember better when they actually experience things. So that could be a good experience for them to start online and then eventually get to a museum when it's available. The next idea is to support a Black-owned business. I talk about it all year round, especially at Christmas time. I give you some ideas, but to especially support a Black-owned business during Black History Month. For years, Black people couldn't even own businesses, right? So now that we're able to own businesses, support them so they can stay in business. The pandemic has put a lot of people in a position where they may be on the cusp of closing. If you go and support them during Black History Month, you can perhaps continue the legacy that many of these people have started. It might be a restaurant that you're like, oh, I always wanted to go to that restaurant, or a clothing line where they have maybe something on the front of it that represents what they do. And it doesn't even have to have something plastered on the front. It's just the fact that you know that it's Black owned. So I would challenge you to go out and support a Black owned business during Black History Month especially. Okay, the last idea is for teachers, but it doesn't really have to be teachers. It could be you at home as parents, right? Every week or every day, you talk about a new person in Black history, right? And then it's a feature. So they can get to know people that they probably won't even encounter in their school, right? So I think that I'm going to put in the description box, but there's kind of a flashcard company that's Black owned that gives you ideas about a person that you can talk about every day. They're not flashcards, they're kind of almost like in playing cards, right? So you can talk about those every day in your class or at home, and that way they can learn about something new. So comment below if you have any other ideas that you can share with the community about how you can support and encourage others to support Black History Month. All right, see you in the next video.